Good morning, people. So here at Classic Coachworks, as some of you know, we like to play with BMWs, especially the Z3, which is a formidable vehicle. Now, you have to remember they're getting old now and some things go wrong. There's a lot of stuff that you can fix yourself, and one of those things are the bushes in the seat. You know, when you get in the seat and the seat rocks back and forward and it's really annoying. It's also an MOT failure, but it's really annoying. It's not something you have to spend a lot of money on, so we're going to show you throughout our socials exactly how to remove the seats safely, take the seat apart, take the base off, replace the bushes, put it all back together and save you some money. So now the most important bit, getting the seat out safely. So you're going to need some really basic tools for this. I have a 16mm socket and a 13mm spanner. At the back of this seat, there are two 16mm bolts. At the front, there are two 13mm. All you need to do is put your seat all the way forward, take the 16s out first. I'm not going to bore you by showing you how to do it. You're not daft. So come boop, 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 all the way, two 16s out the back, boop, 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 all the way back, 13s out. Now, after that, you're going to want to unclip the electrics, but please don't do that until you have isolated the electrics. Unclip your battery at the back and wait a while for any residuals, because you have got airbags in these things. Now, some of you that are clever will know, or some of you that know what we do, will know that this is not a normal Z3. You're thinking, what's she doing sitting in a Cobra? Actually, this is one of ours with body kits that we're refurbing for a customer and putting an interior in, so it is still a Z3. So just to show you how to undo the connectors, it's really, really simple. Tip the seat sideways, obviously protect anything underneath in case you scratch it. And you will have some random spaghetti on some of them. There's various things, including the airbags, but these are the two main ones. This is your main power to the seat that needs to be unclipped like this. And this one would be your heated seat unit, which would run up to here, but that's unplugged at the moment. And anything yellow is airbags. Again, remember to take your battery off first. So just showing you, this is what you'll end up with. These are where your bolts have been taken off. So it just gives you an idea to work out where they are when you pull the seat back and forward. You can't get it wrong. Pop the bolts back on so you don't lose them. This is the driver's side, so obviously slightly different wiring, but this is what you'll be left with to stay in the car. So we're back on our trusty bench now, and I'm going to show you how to take the seat base and the side electrics off. Now, the side electrics are held on with a screw here and a screw here. Now, I've noticed that the screw at the front is missing. This is the worst one to get back in afterwards, I have to say. So I'm guessing this has been off before. They are 25 years old. Phillips screwdriver for the side one. And she's out. And then come round, 13mm socket for these top ones. You have to forgive this taking me a while. I have a currently inactive hand, so things are taking me a little bit longer than usual. Come on. One. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments about my awful ratchet use, hence telling you about the hand. Not normally this bad. So much easier to do it by hand. So that's that. So with the fixings out, tools set aside, there's two little claws that go like that into the seat, and that holds this metal base on. So what we're going to do, hold on here and push. I have pre-loosened this because I can't do things very easily at the moment. Push her up and she comes up, and that's the base loose. Now you have the issue of all of these bits and pieces which need to be removed as well, and we'll need some pliers for that. Okay, so I've zoomed in here to show you how to remove the cables which control the seat back, and it's really simple. Pop them up. Might need to get a bit higher up to do that. Pop them out, and then in here you see this tiny little cable. You need to get him out. Sometimes they get stuck, and sometimes you have to bend this metal slightly, but today he's come out. And same on the other side. Pop them up. Come on. And again, she's out. Now we can unwind these, and that is the only thing keeping the base on. So now you can remove the base. So that should be now ready to take the electrics off. If I hadn't made a fundamental blonde error, is there is a second screw at the back here. Sorry, guys. So pop that out. Electrics are off. So now we're ready to change the seat bushes. So here we are now ready to reassemble. There's a couple of little points. This is everything that's come out of it. So yeah, I am going to start an Own Your Hands account. I'm not even joking. But this were the bushes, and you can see how melted they were. So that's the rubbish. The other thing, this solid metal block here, this is where the bushes obviously sit in. This gets absolutely full of all the sticky bits. So really get a screwdriver in there and clean it up. Get solvent wipe. You can use petrol if you want, but I just use solvent wipes for ease. Get that ready to go back in. So this is how it will reassemble. And we're going to put some copper grease on this in a minute. You have your rod. You have your two brand new from Classic Coachworks bushes. And you have the centerpiece. And effectively, they're going to go like that, and we're going to put them in. Now, it might be a bit of a struggle sometimes, but other times they go straight in, so we'll see. Hey, look at that. I am obviously hard as nails. You can use a tiny hammer to get them in, or you can just gently push. And this is quite a flexible material, actually. These bushes that we've done are flexible as they would have been in the original car, so there is a little bit of give. You won't break them or snap them. So that's that, okay? Then we're going to screw this back onto here with some copper grease and start reassembling. Don't need loads of grease, just a little bit, because it will take it up the rod anyway and carry on. See if I can get this the right way around the first time. Probably not. Nope. Don't panic, it will only go on one way, so it won't cause you any problems. Come on. There we go. Right. So as I said before, don't go all the way up. I would stop just as you see threads coming through here, and then do the other one in exactly the same place. So when you fit them, you've got level movement. I have to say, I'm on the second one, and I was just going to whiz straight through, but I want to show you this. Look, you can see why they're an MOT failure. The seat is supposed to hold you stable in the event of an accident, etc., etc. Too much movement's never good. The airbags are designed to, you know, go in a certain way, and there's not a lot of tolerances for it, but look at that. That's scary. So this is why we're doing it. I just thought I'd jump that in. Now we have our rods ready to go back in. Now, these are things you need to check for. Obviously, bushes are in. We've greased this pole a little bit. I know. And also, these are in the same place. So have a look there, so that we get the even movement of the seat. Also, you need to make sure that this is upright, because you're going to feed it in. And when we feed it in, we've got to go down the other end and push this piece in, which is a bit of an arse, but we'll take you through that now. So now we're ready to fit them. You're going to turn this upside down so that this flat edge is parallel with there. They are a bit of a wiggle to get in, or they can be. So just a little bit of time and effort. Once you get it in, you're going to fight against various things on the way. Just be patient, okay? At the end here, you've got a little hole it needs to go through. You want this levelled up eventually, but you need to go into the back here. So we've got to go through a washer. So I'm going to zoom in on that now and show you what I mean. So I'm hoping you can see this. I've pushed her all the way through, and then here from this end, which will add photos in the end, there is a little hole that it needs to go into, but you've got the square part here. It can be really difficult because obviously square peg, round hole, etc. But with a little bit of time and effort, you'll get that into the end, that pushes in, and then we're ready to screw her back together. Now we've got them all lined up, I'm going to put these two screws at the back in. So these are the T50s. A little bit of copper grease. Start them off by hand. Feel is better than might when you start any job. So there's one. Clean this one up as well. For some reason it's got thread lock on it, which is a bit strange, but that's what it is. Nice and clean. Tiny, tiny bit of copper grease. You don't need to be mental tight, but do tighten them up. Don't break your hand doing it. That's not how it happened, by the way. And next we're going to move them back and forth a little bit to get these lined up. So with these screwed in at the back, you want to line up here, and you can slide the bottom of the runner. You want to line these two up so you can get your T25s back in. And again, It's always good practice to give things a little clean, a little bit of grease. Just get them in by hand first of all. Really simple. It seems like a really difficult job, and I hear lots of people moaning about doing seat bushes on various cars. I mean, obviously we're BMW people, but other brands do apply. But actually, it's not that horrible. You know, these bushes are made from TPU, so they're flexible. They're very, very good, and we've never had any problems with them. That's why we've put our name to them, because they work. But it means now that you should have a few years. Oh, I forgot to clean it. A few years more comfortable motoring without your seat throwing you forward when you're driving. And a lot of people do the driver and not the passenger ones, but I never understand that either. I think if you're doing one, do them both. Do remember that when you take your seat out, you may end up with an airbag light. Now, when you put your seat back in, take the battery off, obviously, for goodness sake, or you blow yourself up. But also, you can get a very, very cheap smart scan tool that should clear that. And then actually, in theory, once you've taken your battery off, put your battery back on, your seat's back in and the battery's back on, any airbag light should clear itself anyway after a couple of miles, but just keep an eye on it. And if you get stuck, ask, because there's loads of people that will have something they can plug in for you to get rid of that. So now here we are with our finished seat base, and this is the acid test. Hey, look at that. Even, working, perfect. You can see here as well, I don't know how close you can see, but you see this turning round and round. This was the part that we pushed in. So basically, it all works. And now the best bit, we can take off the Fuchs label, because we now have a fully working seat base. So we're getting towards the end of changing the bushes. We've shown you how to take the seat out of the vehicle itself, and also how to take the base off the seat. And this, as you see here, is the seat base. Now this is upside down. As I touched on before, they actually needs to be wound all the way back. Now you can do this once your seat is loose and you've got it hanging out the car, but we have a test rig set up because we do this quite a lot. As you can imagine, changing seat bushes without a test rig is a pain. So we're going to go all the way, and then you have these two screws here. This is a T50. These are not horrible at all, but they might be a little bit tight. Don't panic if your car is a little bit rusty underneath your seat, because they do tend to be. That's fairly normal. You can take this opportunity to clean it up a little bit. That was tight, actually. So we need to take these all the way out. So these are the T50s. These ones here are the T25s. We'll have to do some jiggery pokey after that to actually line up these with the gaps inside, but I'll show you that in a minute. You have to excuse my hand movements. I'm trying to do this with a broken wrist, so it's just one of those things, but you get the idea. And you get to have a good laugh at me, which is always good. So first bolt out, nice and simple. Okay. Once you get these out, don't panic too much about where you put them, but do make sure that this one goes back in the left and this one goes back in the right. I'll show you in a moment why. Okay, so there's the two T50s out. Keep them the right side anyway, because then you know where they go back in, although it's fairly obvious. Then you've got two 25s on each side. And again, if they're rusty and tight, don't panic. These cars, quite often there's moisture in the bottom underneath the seat, and it can get a little bit damp in there. And a clean up and a little spray wouldn't hurt. Grease everything as well, that's always useful. So now we've put our 25 and 50 out the way, so we don't need them. You might need to use something like a screwdriver just to give this a little bit of help to get out, but you want to pull the rod out now. As you pull it out, you'll see what was here, which is basically holds the bush. So we'll take this one out. Come on, out you come. Right. And lo and behold, see that? That, oh, bits. Look at that. This used to be the bush, and this is what it should look like. So basically, inside this gap here, that's why the seats rock. It's the same on all vehicles, but BMWs are our specialists, which is why I was showing you this one. That should have one of these in each side, A little bit of a plug here, but we do actually sell these, so do ask, because they're not expensive and it's quite a simple job to do at home. So that's one side, and remember these are handed to keep that one on the left. And then the other side, I have a feeling is going to be a bit more, oh no, it's come out, not tricky. Might have to wiggle it about, turn it upside down and pull a bit. Let's have a look at this one. This one's got a little, oh dear, no. Look at the state of that. That is why this seat would have failed an MOT. So we're going to show you next is how to change them. So now we're on to cleaning up the bush reservoir and getting ready to put the new bushes in. So if you look here, you'll see, if you look at yours, you'll see there might be different amount of threads each side. The general advice is if it's here to put it back here, but, and this has worked for us every time we've done it, I roll this because it twists wherever it is. If it started there, I roll it all the way up. The only thing you need to make sure is that the left and the right, when you put them back together, are in exactly the same place, because otherwise the seat cannot move uniformly and you'll end up with this one side, that one that side. It'll get wonky, it'll get stuck and you'll burn your motor out. So that's never a good idea. So what we're going to do, unscrew this, probably help if I went the right way. Okay, and you can see this one's got a little luffer left on it, so it's even blonde proof. And look at that, that used to be a bush. I'm going to take these over to the machine and give it a good clean up. We're going to soak this in petrol, clean off all the dirt, and then we're going to re-grease it afterwards, because you really want these to be able to move easily. And once that's done, we're going to fit the new bushes and put it all back together.